Okay, this guy was shot and killed at the recent Trump rally. They're going to have a whole news thing on this guy. Again, say what you want. Just a young 20-year-old kid that supposedly, on his own admission, went up on top of this building and shot at President Trump. And I want to show you some realities of
a 20-year-old gunman
what happened then
fire
and
on former
what
President
happened
Donald Trump.
years
Senators
ago
learned
and
that he was
other
identified as being
assassination
suspicious
attempts.
and photo. In an FBI
what they're going
and
to
Secret
show right
Service
here
briefing
is
with members of
they're
the
going to have a
Senate,
timeline of
revelation
what happened with
graft
Trump. And right here, it starts off, it's talking about a
at
5:51, they noticed a guy with a
Pennsylvania State
viewfinder.
Police notified Secret Service of a suspicious person with a rangefinder. 5:53, the Secret Service
5:53,
notified
they
its
saw him,
snipers. At 6:02,
and they're going to show a video. I'm going to go and show you this video. There's more to this video that's
people
there.
in the crowd saw
there's
Thomas
way more
Crooks
to this
on the
video
rooftop
that
and
is
shouted to
being
law
shown on
enforcement.
YouTube.
And 2 minutes later,
As you can see,
shots are fired.
it's visible, and people are shouting about the
Senator
guy
Ron
2-3
Johnson
minutes before
reacting
it
to the
happened.
briefing at the
And they're going to
you
say
consider
also that
removing or
they had
protecting or
a
delaying
explosive
his
device,
entrance onto
supposedly
the
one that also,
senior
like
law
this
enforcement
thing right
officials
here.
say
I've never seen one of these things. It doesn't mean anything though. Supposedly this sets off fireworks, according to this
Brooks
news
was
thing.
also found with this
But
device.
what I want to go into is the similarities between this and the JFK, and just a heads up for everybody to be on the lookout. We need to get more of these sources on YouTube. You need. I find YouTube to be more informative than the news, the fake news that's out there. And I do say fake news because if you follow, I have the at a glance JFK assassination, and just by at a glance of the viewings and the media that follows this, everything was lies as of the second day, the day after the shooting for JFK. And I'm hoping that similarities are not going to come, and hopefully the YouTube and the witnesses that were there, if we can get enough of these witnesses to hopefully tell what happened immediately, we don't lose track of the important information, little information that actually leads to a bigger vision image of what actually happened at this Trump rally. Hopefully it is just one person, but historically these have been multiple murders, and what multiple people, meaning a conspiracy. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, like everything has to be a conspiracy, but it's just been historically proven that they have been. Martin Luther King has been a conspiracy. JFK has been a conspiracy. I was just, you have to do backward and forth in the JFK in the history books to find out about all these events that happened that were told by the media as A and ends up being B if you actually research it. One such thing is the Oklahoma City murders and the Dillinger stuff. Like, if you just keep going back throughout history, Dillinger's in the 30, 33, 34, and Oklahoma City, I believe, is 93. But even just looking at the Oklahoma City, they arrested 2 people in the Oklahoma City, and there was obviously 3. They have a video of this guy that they never even... they attempted to go after, and they stopped going after for whatever reason. This guy that was helping out Timothy McVeigh, they have a picture of him on a video across the street from the explosion, the Oklahoma City explosion. Is that related? I'm just saying there doesn't seem to always be just one person involved, 2 people involved. Usually these things are quite big. Historically, these things have been way bigger than the news has ever pointed out. As we said in 1963, through my assassination at my at a glance, I just want to show you some of the similarities, the crazy similarities that are going on that I have to talk about, because right now a 20-year-old kid is supposed to be the only person involved in this shooting. There was 5 shots on him, but I'll show you a couple of things that are very disturbing about this already. The first one is being this video that's on YouTube. And if we look up,
someone's on
they're
top of the
saying
roof.
these
Look.
people right here,
There he is right
they
there.
already saw the guy get on top
Right
of
there,
the
see him?
building. and they're
Laying
video
down, see him?
recording.
Yeah, he's laying down.
As you can see, there's a group of 20 people, and there's people looking around. What you're also going to see is when they bring it up.
What's happening?
See how they're talking? Everybody in there is talking about this guy. They're walking around, kids in hand, and you're supposed to be watching this thing.
There he
But what
is.
are they doing? They're watching this guy crawl up the building. And they're telling people, they're out loud, they're video recording. All these people, they have their cameras. Everybody has a phone, everybody has a camera. Here's them yelling. 2 or 3 minutes before it happens, they're like, hey, there's a guy on the roof. Want to see the disturbing part?
Laying down.
It's right at the beginning of it. I think it's at like 33 seconds of this video.
Yeah,
Right there.
someone's on top.
Did you see it? Right. Okay, we're gonna blow it
Yeah,
up.
someone's on
That's
top
a
of the roof.
cop.
Look.
What do you mean there's somebody on top of?
Yeah,
This is for all your policemen out there that do a wonderful job and help protect us every day. Thank you so much. For those firemen that help us every day, thank you so much. I'm not saying you don't do your job. I'm not saying that your job hasn't done. I'm not saying it's not hard. But this is an inappropriate response to a shooter being on a building. This guy is slowly walking. Look in this video. Slow. Look, that's the policeman. We can barely see him there. See him?
Yeah, someone's on top.
There is no haste. These guys are pointing at a guy with a gun. They're pointing at a guy with a gun on top of a building. Where is it? And this guy is strolling around. Just
Look, they're all
slowly
pointing.
meandering around. And if you're from Florida, right here, this guy, right here, does he look like he's in a hurry? They're telling him he's on top of the building. They're showing him where he's at. They're pointing to where he's at. They already got his attention. And he's walking the opposite way. They already told this guy, and whoever this guy is, it's ridiculous. This reminds me of anybody that's been in Florida, the Parkland guy that just, oh, hey, they're shooting. I don't want to get close. I might get hurt. Hey, I'm going to call our people and yada, yada. Oh, my God. That Parkland stuff just drives me nuts. They're knowing that kids are being shot and nobody's going in.
Yeah, someone's on top of the
There he
roof.
is.
Look.
It's just so disturbing seeing that. And then later they find out that he is. And then they point a gun at him, and instead of responding, the guy jumps down and he's able to get a couple shots off. That's why these videos are so important. Anyway, dorky little kid. As you can see, the police are doing little to nothing. They're not in a real hurry. Yeah, they see him. They caught him like 30 minutes ago with a viewfinder. But I want to show you how that's relevant to the JFK. And like you're going to say, okay, you're kind of crazy even bring this up. But it is so relevant. And once you see why, hopefully I can explain it well enough to you to understand. This guy that got shot was a 20-year-old kid, right? On the Trump rally. This is a 19-year-old kid that is going in, being convicted. His name is Wesley Buell Frazier. Hopefully I can get the screen. Let's get the screen bigger.
I want to buy your house.
Jeepers.
I can
Okay.
pay you cash
Anyway,
for
we're
your
going to be
house,
talking about Wesley Buell
no
Frazier.
matter
as soon as
what
this really goes
condition
over.
it's in.
This guy right here is Wesley Buell Frazier, and this is him in the Dallas police station. This is one of the first people brought in to the police station. There's over 12 people arrested. A lot of them were connected to the actual conspiracy. Let's call it what it is. The high amount of people, the high number of people that were involved in the JFK. But what I'm trying to get at is this 20-year-old kid was one of the first people brought in. And of those people brought in, he was one that we know for sure. I'm going to give a picture. Okay, he's getting walked in. Okay, real quick with this video. As you saw, this 8-second video, Wesley Buell's sister is in front of this guy. I forget who this guy is. And then Wesley Buell Frazier is going to come in next. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you who Wesley Buell Frazier is real quick. Wesley Buell Frazier was a co-worker of Lee Harvey Oswald, the guy that got accused of being the lone assassin, which is impossible because there was at least, just like in the Trump rally, there was 5 shots. People heard 5 shots. At least we got that one down. 5 shots hit JFK. 5 shots were taken at the Trump. Okay, there's a little couple similarities here. And then the 5 shots that hit, 3 at least hit the president. He got one in the throat, one in the head, obviously, maybe 2. And then he got one in the back, President Kennedy, all entrance wounds. And Conley got one in the shoulder. There's no magic bullet. We're taking away the magic bullet stuff. We're not believing it. We're real, it's 2024. We don't have to believe stories back then. Conley, in his own admission, when he talks about it, I was shot separately. So he was shot in the right side by himself, entrance wound and exit wound, exit out of his stomach. And then the other shot went through his hand. His hand, if you look in the video, is nowhere near his body when he was shot. So his hand and leg shot came later. And if you listen to all that, I go into this in the Conley getting hit. So we know Conley was hit wrist, at least. He has 3 entrance wounds. One's in his back right, one's in his wrist, and one's in his leg. Now the leg and arm, the wrist and the leg one could have been one shot, but they couldn't have been the same shot as his back and body shot that was. So we know at least it was shot twice separately, and maybe 3 times from the 3 wounds that he has. And we know the president for sure. So, we're taking away anything with the magic bullet. We're using real evidence, real pictures. I'll show you in my video. So I'm just trying to tell you, 5, maybe 6 shots that hit. And I'm saying there was 8 shots taken during JFK. I'll show you where the locations were, but we know 5 hits, and from those 5 hits, I went to Dallas and can show you and do show you on my documentary where they came from and how they were separate people and the people's names that got arrested and who I thought was where this and there. Nothing to do with this guy, separate from this guy. So this guy is involved. This guy, Wesley Frazier, because they know there was so many shots taken, at first they're saying like 5 to 8. So again, 5 shots. Same with Trump. But this guy right here, this importance of Wesley Frazier is he's just a 20-year-old that got involved in this. And I'm saying just like this night, he's 19, Frazier's 19, the guy that was there was 20-year-old. I'm just going to show you how these people can be part of the conspiracy, but they're going to be used by other people to get their major work done, just like I think Timothy McVeigh was done. And if you look at other things like Dillinger, Dillinger had Carroll and all those other people that worked with him on his stuff. Anyway, let's get back to this. This is Bill Wesley Frazier, and he's walking in, and despite all the cameras in the room, 100 cameras, this big one right behind him. You see that big wheel film one right there, right behind him? But despite all those pictures, despite literally 100 cameras, we're only going to get 2 videos from the Dallas police station where they took this guy in, and he is punched a couple times. You can't see it because he's punched on his right side, viewer's left side. And he was punched by the guy that, you couldn't see it before. I'll show you in the next video. But the guy that comes in behind him, this is the guy that punched him to bring him in. And this is the guy that convicted him. So Wesley Frazier, a 19-year-old kid, was hired in September of 1963. A couple weeks later, 4 or 5 weeks later, I'll get you exact dates on my documentary, Lee Harvey Oswald was hired by the same place. And before that, the black guys that also got taken in, the ones that were eating the chicken bones and stuff like that in the 6th floor museum that you see, those guys were also hired recently. So these aren't long past members of this book observatory. They were recent hires by the School Book Observatory. And that's what makes it really weird. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of similarities between this guy and I just want to do background on Wesley Frazier real quick, because he's just a 19-year-old that got thrown into this mess, and he got thrown into it in September. Who knows what he was doing before that? But I'm going to do the documentary, and it talks about him being hired in September. Oswald's hired in October. The murder, assassination happens in November. These are quick things that happen, just like in this Trump thing. So now also with Wesley Frazier, after the shooting This guy right here that comes in, I forget his name. I think it's Curry. Top of my head, I forget. It's in my documentary. This guy right there.
Breaking news!
Is the one that goes and says, hey, you did this. He wants to put a pen to paper into his hand. Everybody can look this up. And says, you're the one that did it. You did it by yourself. You killed the president. And Bill Wesley Frazier, to his credit, said, no, I didn't. I'm not going to sign this. And there was another attempted fight at, we're not going to visit. We're going to just try and play this. Oh, okay. Let's go back. The videos are really short. So again, this is where the conspiracy part of it happens, because this is why everybody thinks you're crazy. We're gonna have to watch a video, I'm sure, to get over this. But everybody thinks you're crazy when you go and you talk about conspiracy. But like, the true hard facts are just undeniable. Here's a picture, and like I was telling you, not one camera. Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. A hall full of cameras. Hall full of news cameras all over the world for this guy coming in. Bill Wesley Frazier coming in, one of the first people brought in for the JFK murder before Lee Harvey Oswald. And he's already beaten up by the cops. Right here's the guy that punched him. One of the guys that punched him. They both punched him. You'll see this guy come in. Then you'll see Wesley Bill's sister. And then you'll see that's one of the guys that hit him. That's his sister. See how brief this stuff is? See how ridiculous this is? See how, like, all these cameras, and this is all we have? This is the manipulation of the press. So don't say it's not a conspiracy when the press only has 2 available films on this guy that got arrested for your president's murder. This is a big deal. This is historical events, and it all got erased on purpose. Like, it's not these people didn't put it out there. There's not people that, you see the cameras rolling. This is put out, but it was dismissed and blackened over. This is our black history of the America. Look, I'm just trying to point this out. There are so many cameras there, just like there were so many cameras at the Trump rally. But hopefully, because there are people, just regular everyday people, not this news group, that hopefully we can get more evidence in on this. I'm just showing you all the cameras that are there. Okay, remember in that first video, they didn't show historical event, huge historical event. And you can barely see his sister right there. You just barely see her.
Film.
Black and white, even though this is the day of color. There's color cameras everywhere. They're not showing it. Look at that. You can barely see her. Okay, that's his sister. That's him. That's Wesley Frazier. This is the second best video you're going to find of this guy, Wesley Frazier. And look, you can only see the side of his face. Again, it's the left side, not the side that got punched. And then you're seeing the back of him, so you're not going to see his bruises. He and Lee Harvey Oswald were both beat up before they were brought in. They were tackled and they were punched in the face before they were brought in. This is a big deal. Just like this 20-year-old, this is a 19-year-old Frazier getting beat up, just like the 20-year-old was shot. So, and just like Lee Harvey Oswald, Wesley Frazier, these guys weren't alone in this. So I'm hoping that if there was somebody else contributing to this, they maybe didn't take shots, but maybe they were already there. This guy maybe was coerced, or however the deal is with this guy. I forget his name, for the 20-year-old that shot at Trump. I'm just showing you there's a lot of similarities. This guy was brought in, beat up, and told by, let's play the video. This guy that comes in behind him, that's one of the guys that hit him, like I showed in the other video. And then behind him, I think the guy's name is Curry. Top of my head, I keep forgetting. But anyway, they're going to put pen in hand. Hey, Wesley Frazier, you killed the president. He's not even dead yet. And they're saying you killed the president. And they want him to sign for it. Wesley Beale doesn't do it. Wesley Beale Frazier, or Bill Wesley Frazier. He changes his name back and forth, his middle name changing with his first name. But the similarities are there. I'm just trying to tell you, there's similarities already. And it's not conspiracy for the JFK. These are facts now. And the last one I want to show is is this one, because I just want to show what the press did. If we leave the press alone to do its own work, we're not going to get the true story. Look at all these things about Bill Wesley Frazier being innocent, particularly this one, which is so disturbing. This is, real quick, this guy does great work on alt history. Humber Reinberg, he has, there's so many videos by this guy that he puts out, really well documented. But what I want to show you of this is that the media, that the media was in on this, and hopefully our media doesn't get on the Trump rally. But I was just trying to show you the cops aren't doing anything, which was very suspicious to me. But if we look at the other, I want to show this this other one. Hopefully we can get it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna just do it off of here then. The point I'm trying to make with this part of it is this guy, this Bill Wesley Frazier, that's him. That's not an actor. Oh my God, I just had it up and now they're not showing it. Anyway, what it is, it's a picture of Bill Wesley Frazier, and it's a picture of him driving and telling his story of how he is innocent, how he had nothing to do with it. He's a completely innocent guy, and he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And there's just video. This is video of him talking.
Not ride home with you Friday night.
And
Drive.
that, I just happened to drive Lee Harvey Oswald there.
On Friday, November 22nd,
it was my sister that got me this
Lee
job
Harvey
here. It's
Oswald
my
rises
sister that
quietly
told Ruth
and
Payne.
boils water for a
And it
quick
was
cup
Ruth
of instant
Payne
coffee.
that went and called the School Book Observatory for Oswald. Oswald didn't get the job there. Ruth Payne got the job for Lee Harvey Oswald. Just throwing that in there. But this guy, they go in and they're showing.
Wesley Frazier's 1953 Chevrolet sedan
Months, just
joins the
I'm not sure exactly the date that this.
Said, well, yeah.
But
I
look
said,
at him.
well, why
He's
you
still
going
only
home
like
this afternoon?
19, 20 years old.
And he replied
this is
that he
pretty
wanted to go home and pick up some curtain rods.
soon after. I
Where
gotta
he
find the
put some
exact date.
curtains
It's
up
in my
his
documentary.
apartment. I said,
When
very
Wesley
well.
Bill went and made
Then I
this
said,
video
well, will
for
you
the
be going
news
home with me
people,
tomorrow
showing how
also?
innocent
And
he
he
was.
said no.
Okay, how he's not part of the conspiracy. He just happened to drive this kid. It had nothing to do with it. The same guy they put a pen in hand and said, sign this paper, you killed. This first guy that was 19 years old that would have been put to death for the killing of the president, who didn't sign, and later they just said, okay, now you're going to be the lone gunman. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. I hope it isn't, but I think what history has shown is a lot of these attempts are conspiracies, more than one person. They have multiple people involved just because they're so complex. Some guy usually doesn't go out and say, I just want to do it. Parkland is a good example of it being one person, but these other shootings, usually the president stuff, is usually not one person. I'm just historically proven these attempts are not usually by one person. That's what I'm trying to say. And the similarity of a 19-year-old Bill Wesley Frazier and the 20-year-old of this of the guy that just did the attempt on President Trump, or ex-President Trump. Once a president, all president, right? Where's this? We're gonna find this guy's name, but I think we're gonna find more eyewitnesses, and don't. What I want to tell people is also these
right
things
now
that
we're
come
joined
out
by another guest.
His
name
guy
is Robert
talking and
Philpott.
like,
He's
hey, this is what
from this
happened according to
community,
this.
from Butler.
These are hard
Robert,
to believe. You
come here
can't
and talk to us if you will. You can
because
come
some
a
people
little closer.
can be brought in.
You stopped
they know
us
this
here.
is going to happen.
We're here doing our show, and you stopped us. And you wanted to talk to me, and
I
you
wanted
to
to
tell me
this
something.
to you, and like this is how we're going to prove it. And I go in this in the JFK, but here's a guy that was shot and killed. Where's the guy's name? They're going to have to show his name somewhere. Anyway, 5 shots were taken. Here's the guy that did it. Bill Wesley Frazier, just as weird looking as this guy, that ends up being a small part of it. This guy obviously seems to be a big part of it. Hopefully he's the only guy. That's all I'm trying to say is there's a lot of similarities. Hopefully he's the only guy, but usually historically proven they're not. So I just want people to look out And the biggest thing I want to do is get people that were there to hurry up and make their comments so they don't forget what they saw. These little bits of information that they saw, there might have been a second, third person. But until we get all of their witness accounts there and done by themselves instead of course by the news or whatever, that want to start their own cycle, their own coverage, I want it done by the people that were there in their own words, in their own and screens, so that we can kind of connect to see if this is fake news or not, or what's actually going on. Because we're not going to get the true answer. Is the whole picture from the news. They paint a picture, they want us to believe it. This is another picture that obviously bothers me too.
How to get $18,000 in 24 hours,
video,
part 2. There's this loan program that lets
just
you get to $100,000
for you guys that have never seen
without
this,
any banking.
they talk about this a lot, and now you'll be able to see it in the video. Oh, I don't know why they need people's faces to show it. We don't need to see your face, sir. As you can see, they have this guy. He's up there. That's not the point I was trying to make. Where is it? Anyway, just like in the JFK, they're saying, okay, this person was here, but there might have been other people. That's all I'm trying to say. And hopefully we can get our videos out to find out the truth about this all, because I don't know if you noticed, but they've been very coy and they've been very slow. And with this picture right here, all I'm trying to show is that little girl is trying to protect the president, and she's obviously at his chest level trying to knock him down, getting up. But that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is his face is showing. If there's a second shooter, like, they could have taken care of him right then and there. He's not being protected. And then, as I showing my friends in other videos, there's another guy behind him. Like, look how open he is to be shot again. They're like, oh, we killed one guy. Well, what if there's second or third? Look at how much. What is that girl doing? Like, she's like protecting him, but letting his head. He's not ducking him down and getting him out of there. For good or bad, I mean, like, we need to have people bigger than the president to stand up there and block anything. It's his face, which is, I'm sure, what you aim for. Is God? Where's this? They don't show this guy's name. Anyway, this guy's name should be broadcasted everywhere. We don't have his name yet. I don't have his name yet. But anyway, we need to get into this, and it needs to be done by the people of YouTube, by the witnesses there, by the people who are at the Trump rally, and not done by the news. Please put your stuff out there and let it be known what you saw, and get it done now before you forget the little details that might be important to others.